All right, let's get this done. Okay, because I just this is the last one. All right, I got the 2 remakes left to do, but that's gonna be for something else. Yes, the other remake I found on YouTube. Children of the Corn, Runaway. Hey, it warned you. Run away. Don't watch this. You didn't listen, did you? I didn't, and here I am. Okay, so straight up now, tell me that you really gonna love me forever. Oh. Okay, so straight up, I tell you right now, this is not as bad as the last 2, but it's still meh. I like the idea. What they do with it just doesn't do anything. And again, this feels like they could have, like it's some kind of thriller with a mom and her child running, and they added Children of Corn stuff to it. This could be in any script, right? You got John Gulager, director of the Feast trilogy, doing this. I haven't done those yet. His dad, Clu Gulager, star of Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge, and Return of the Living Dead, has a cameo in this as Krusty. And I will say there's some pretty good gore in this. You know, there's a lot of after stuff, because there's one that really pissed me off. She's this little girl with a hammer going up this old guy, and it cuts away, and then it comes back, and he's all covered with it, and the hammer's laying in front of him. I'm like, what? And then when he tries to run at this girl, that's when you get the thing. How did he not know there was something around his neck? But when there's gore to be had, there is some pretty good gore. There's a sequence, a dream sequence the lady has that uses CGI gore, no good. But you know, the story here is that Ruth is apparently one of the original people in the Gatlin fire when they tried to. I don't know where this is taking it from. Like, so apparently she was one of the Children of the Corn, and all of them killed themselves except for she survived. She explains this later. I'm like, that was the story of the grandma in the last one, or the one before that. That was the story of the grandma in fucking Revelations, right? That was the story of the grandmas, that they all wanted to commit suicide. She said no, and she left. Right? That was her story. They're reusing that story again for this Ruth chick. Right? By the way, I remember the lady's name in that movie. Main character lady, I called her. Her name is Jamie. The Groby's gonna kill me. But, his first name. Yeah. I forgot it. Her name. Doesn't matter anyway, that movie's stupid. But she and her son, so we see that she's leaving and she's supposed to be a teenager, apparently. They just put an actress in a wig that made her look a little younger. And then she's pregnant, she gives birth, and then we cut to 13 years later, right? And she and her son are constantly on the run, running from things, right? So that's what it is. Until they reach the town of Luther. See here, if I was on the run from children who are connected to cornfields, I would go, I don't know, anywhere where there is not cornfields. But they keep saying that she keeps going to small towns and running and running. Why? Go to the big city. Go to New York. Go to LA. Go where there's no fucking cornfields. If you're so afraid that it's going to come back to you, don't go anywhere near cornfields. Hello, am I getting Peru to you? Stay away from the cornfields. Come on, you can go to Los Angeles, New York, you go anywhere. Go to Canada. Do they have corn up there? I don't know. But you go to big cities. Away from the corn. Yes, you go to, oh, well, Scotty, the third one. I don't, shut up. Or the second one, whatever. Shut up. I know. But still. And technically, Revelation's that a cornfield growing in it. But still, that lady who had the same situation was smart and got away with to the city, right? Until it was too late. But hey, if this lady can live to a ripe old age, fine. No, they're going through back roads and small towns, and it doesn't make any sense to me. Why would you go to places where corn is always going to be around? As you start seeing things, there's this little girl, and I can't believe I called it so quickly. It's after this little girl kills that old guy I told you about. I went, so it's her, right? We see a little girl, but it's actually her. And I'll be damned if that wasn't what it was. We'd seen this little girl killing people. It was really when the black guy got killed, when this mechanic guy that she worked for, and he just fired her. The way he talked to this little girl made me think, okay, I think I'm on the right track here. He's talking to her as if he knows her. Like, hey, what are you doing here? You need to get out. Like, it's just like, he talks as if he knows who this person is. He wouldn't know this little girl. We are seeing this little girl commit the murders, but it's actually our main character, Ruth, which we find is not even her real name. It's Sandra. Ruth is her Children of the Corn name, because of course and I almost thought this was going to be a prequel, because at the end you see Aaron dressed up in a little thing like Isaac, and I'm like, oh my god, is this a prequel? Is this going to be Isaac? No. That would have made this 100% better. Maybe not 100%, but it would have made it a little bit better at the end, because like they take a name, and he takes his name as Isaac. And it's like, oh, this was a prequel the whole time. Gotcha. They just use the backstory from Revelations because why not? I don't know. You get one shot of tits in this movie, but it's not really something you can enjoy because she showed them to a 13-year-old or 12. 13 years later he was born. That's maybe 13-year-old, because he like looking out the window and she's like, hey, she's a whore. She's like, and then she falls, breaks her teeth. There's the gore. I'm like, why? Okay, whatever. But yeah, another thing I called. There's this lady at the diner that Ruth becomes friends with. There's a scene where Aaron's in there talking to her. She leaves Aaron in there by himself quite a bit. She's like, oh, I gotta go to work. You go back in and you have a burger. You have your lunch. And I'm like, there's something that's gonna happen with this lady. And then she decides, I got something I have to go do. You take him and you get him out of here because I trust you. And I'm like, okay, there's something with her. And then we cut to Ruth going to a house. The house we saw this little girl go into. And then we cut to the water tower, and they're both sitting up there, and Aaron goes, we're not leaving, are we? We're not going to Tulsa, are we? Nope. So she's connected. And I'll never understand these movies to have adults connected. Like, how can there be adults, right? Because adults that are connected, like, either you're not connected and you're killed, and if you're an adult, you die at the age of 18 or 19. It changes between movies. So how is this woman still a part of it? I don't know. Because they need to have an adult character to lure her back. I don't know. I'll give credit. I didn't realize, because in the end, you see that she finds a little girl covered in blood, and then it transitions. And I didn't notice until after Sarah, which is, by the way, another name take away from the original. Sarah was the little girl, which I thought was going to go in that direction, right? That is Sarah from the first movie. Nope. She's just Sarah. But yeah, this was nothing. It's not worth your time. It's not even frustrating as the other two, because there are some good stuff. There's some good stuff in it, but it's few and far between, and it's boring. Like Stone Cold's watching, he go boring, laying down on a pillow on the entrance ramp because it's boring. There's so much shots of we get a road and they're sitting around, and you know what really sold it to me? There's a scene. So they go to talk to this principal, right, to get him in school, and she makes up these excuses like, "Oh, I need your power, your utility bill, and proof of residency," and I'm like, what? Like, okay, so I am no expert on this because my ex takes care of all the stuff with my son, but I find that to be bullshit. As many times as my ex has moved around and gone from school to school, if that was the case, my son would not be able to go to school. And then she says, I need proof of maternity, like proof of, like, that, of proof of parenthood or something like that. I'm like, okay, there's something with this woman, you know. And then later, this is what sold it to me, that she was a little girl, because she's sitting on a swing at the school's playground, and comes out, and I'm like, okay. She has to be that little girl. It makes sense she's sitting there like she's like reverting or something. I don't know. It's confusing. But yeah, it's not worth your time. Watch something else. Clearly, this franchise peaked at the sixth one, and I mean it. I mean it. I haven't seen the 2 remakes yet, but I can imagine it would be very good. But we will be talking about the remakes when I do, drum roll, Remake-a-thon. Yes, I've done 3 sequel-a-thons, so it's time that I take the sister of their sequel-a-thon, the remake, and I do something with that. So, Remake-a-thon, sometime this year. Also, I am urging you to go on the community tab. We are close to 400 subs. I did not look before I did this video, but we were 10 away. I have a vote for you guys to vote. 3 things. Vote for one for me to do when we get to 400 subscribers. Once we get to 400, the poll will be over. You can vote for me to do the Twilight movies. You can vote for me to do the Phantasm franchise. Or you could vote for me to do the Dragon Ball Z movies. Last time I checked, Dragon Ball Z movies were ahead. Because I checked last night and Twilight, there was 1 vote. It was for Twilight. I'm like, oh, great. And then I looked when I was at work, and it showed it went up 2 more votes. There's 3 votes, 2 more votes, both for Dragon Ball Z. Hey, I'll take it when I get it. Dragon Ball Z, hey, you know, you made me suffer with Twilight, but Dragon Ball Z also has the most movies at like 13. You know, I'm not going to do the Dragon Ball ones, but I'll do Dragon Ball Z ones, and eventually the Super ones, once I watch through the show. Actually, I could do the 2, Resurrection F and Battle of the Gods, because those are the beginning of that. So, but the other 2, Broly and Superhero, I'd have to wait. So, but yeah, so just keep in mind, just please go vote. We only have till we get to the 400 subscriber limit, which could take anywhere from 2 days to 24 days to whatever. And then I will do it. If we get to 400 before February. Obviously, it's going to be after February. And I got a whole scope of things, I'm not doing Universal Month. I decided against it. But, so I got like a whole calendar is free until October. That gives me freedom, right? So, Remakeathon is coming. I'll do whatever the 400 subscriber poll winner is, and we'll go from there. So please, go vote for that in the community tab. And what are your thoughts on, what was I reviewing again? Children of the Corn, Runaway. Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.